So we finally got the trailer for the new It movie, and honestly after seeing the first one, I wasn't terribly excited for another, even though I liked that movie. It just seemed like a decent wrap-up to the story. But as a fan of the TV spot, those movies way back then, I knew some good stuff does come later, so there's reason to be excited. Of course, the characters in the Loser Club die, at least some of them do, and the monster It comes back with a vengeance. After seeing this more or less teaser than a trailer, I'm really excited again. I think it's going to be a fun horror movie, and that's kind of what I got out of the last one. Some parts were scary, other parts were just entertaining to watch. Like, we get this long scene with the old woman, who also made an appearance in the TV movie, and the more I watch this trailer, I see things that I missed. Like, the sheer level of polish and subtle creepiness is what I love. This is the kind of stuff that actually gets me scared, not the stuff you'd see in 99% of all horror movies, which use mostly jump scares to try and scare you. Jump scares don't leave a very long-lasting fear like other forms of scares do, like actual creepiness does. Any of you that have seen the latest Pet Sematary movie know that the first scene where we hear Zelda crawling across the floor or scraping her bed along the floor, only to fall down the dumbwaiter as she's trying to grab her food, is a terrifying scene where the scare was properly built up and earned. There was a good payoff. It wasn't like a long silence and then a boom. In this scene where she's looking at the photos, the old woman just dances off screen. It's like the same thing a clown would do. And I did not see this the first 2 times I watched the teaser. It immediately enters the uncanny valley, seeing an old woman do something so unexpected like that. And it takes a certain amount of creativity to even think of doing that in the background. That's not even the main scare. This kind of thing was also in the previous It movie, but it was so subtle, I wasn't entirely sure if I was just seeing things or not. Like the scene, if you remember, where the kid is reading in the library, and the librarian is smiling at him in a very unfocused scene, just in the background. She's not even the point of the scene. It's a thing a lot of people can miss, and it's the first indication that the It monster is nearby. Like that long stare the old woman does after she says that no one in Derry ever really dies. Like, that is just perfect. And by far the creepiest thing in this trailer wasn't when she was running at her, because that stuff is kind of scary, not entirely. The creepiest thing was when she was looking at the photos, and in the background you can see the old woman peek over the corner. That is creepy. That's the kind of scares I'm looking for in this movie. I'm sure we're going to see lots and lots of videos on YouTube covering all the subtle scares that people might have missed in this movie. This is what polishing a movie actually does. The entire town of Derry is haunted, if you think of it like that. And the actors they got for the adult characters are all great. One of the things I was worried about, because it's a big transition from the cast that we began to know in the first movie, so that's a great relief. I remember the TV movie did a scene where the It monster took the form of a spider. This is during the final showdown. And I'm not entirely sure if this is actually how it appears in the books. In the books, I think it's something that can't be imagined. But I think it might be, because a TV movie was almost a direct translation from the book. Take that with a grain of salt, the book is gigantic. But that spider thing, I'm sure they might change that in this movie, because spiders aren't the most scariest thing we've seen in modern movies. The idea of a giant spider is just kinda laughable, so I'm sure they're gonna change it. Or if anything, they won't go for a spooky scene there, but more of a triumphant scene where you defeat the monster. But really, this movie can't come early enough. I'm very excited for it. It comes out in September, near Halloween, so perfect timing. And Game of Thrones is on tonight, so I'm definitely going to be covering that, and just going to see how this might get any worse, possibly. I don't know. This latest season of Game of Thrones gives you a lot of what you want, but in a weird and poorly written way, is how I describe it. But make sure you subscribe for that, and drop a like, and until next time, thank you for watching.